Yeah, so I guess what's interesting is I had my first conversation with Mike either the day of or the day after he got hired here. It was the first time we had a conversation. And I was a little up in the air about transferring, but after talking with him a few times over the phone, I was pretty well sold. So I was coming here no matter what. The decision turned out to be one of the better ones I've made in my life to date, for sure. And not only just because of Mike, but because of UIS as a school. I've never had a coach that held himself to the same standards that he held his athletes. He was very disciplined the way he expected us to be disciplined. Had the same expectations for us that he had for himself. So having that consistency in a coach is I don't know if it's rare, but it's certainly special. So that was very fun, and I spent a lot of time in the car with him, going to meets and stuff. So we talked, and he could talk for hours and hours and hours about minor league baseball and a bunch of announcers I've never heard of, and he could talk in great detail. And one of our favorite games to play on the road was we would bring up just whatever college we could think of, and he'd been there. Like, he'd been to every school, and he would tell us about a race he had there, or what their track is like, or where their cross country course is. Any school in America he'd been. Yeah, so obviously with cross country practices especially, it can get lonely, maybe for lack of a better word, because while we have team practices, there's a lot of stuff you have to do on your own, but there would be, not one specific, but just the number of miles I've put in with coach on a bike next to me or in the van driving next to us. It happens so often. There's never like one time, or there's never one race that was like the one, but all of them combined created just this very special relationship, a special bond. Teams that go through the suck together tend to get very close. So I had plenty of rainy, snowy, hot, and sunny, in every combination with each other. So just the combination of all those experiences is what really brought us with coach and us as a team together in ways that I think a lot of other sports don't have the opportunity to do. So yeah, coach is a native Wisconsinite, but I would always joke with him that he was the worst Wisconsinite ever, because he's a Bears fan, not a Packers fan. He doesn't like cheese, and doesn't drink beer, and there's one or two more. And he doesn't have the accent, so he's from Wisconsin, but I always tell him he can't claim it. He's a White Sox fan, just like the most not Wisconsin things are all of his habits. So I'd always give him a hard time, at least, like whenever he would talk about being from Wisconsin. I was like, well, we should probably, this was the time with like the birth certificates were a big deal. I was like, we might need to check your certificate to make sure you're actually from Wisconsin, because we probably won't be able to verify that.